Hey, what's up you guys? How's it going? It's Papa, and today I'm going to be showcasing you guys my updated Phantom Knight deck profile with the newest edition of the Horus cards from Age of Overlord, and I gotta tell you, this deck has been a lot of fun. So yes, today is the day that we are going to be showcasing Phantom Knights for you, because it is Halloween on the day that you are watching this, not the day that I am recording this, but happy Halloween nonetheless. Longtime watchers of the channel know just how much I enjoy the Phantom Knight strategy, but now with the new support with Horus and all the other fun stuff that I play in this deck, I am able to go ahead and play this deck once again. And you know what? The deck has been good. I've taken this to a couple different locals now, and I gotta say that this is as close to 40 as possible right now. It is 43 cards. I'm trying so hard to get this deck to 40, but it's so hard to do just because of the amount of stuff that you can play in it. But honestly, I think after doing the testing that I have been doing, I might just want to go ahead and just play this deck at 60, but I'm not going to keep bragging. I'm just going to go ahead and showcase you guys the deck profile because we have a lot to talk about. Starting off the main deck, of course, we have our 3 Golden Knight itself, 3 copies of Phantom Knight Torn Scales. This card is just busted, being able to discard a card and just summon, or not summon, send any Phantom Knight card from the deck to the grave is just broken. And then of course it has the additional effect to where if it is in the graveyard and you have a Phantom Knight card be banished, you can special summon itself out, but it does get banished if it leaves the field, so that's why we exes with it, just so broken. We are also on 3 copies of Silent Boots. Horus is basically like the bread and butter for the deck. You get to special summon this monster if you control any Phantom Knight monster on the field, and then of course when it is in the graveyard you can banish it to a special summon. Wow, I keep saying special summon, sorry. Basically what you do with it, you banish it from the graveyard and you get to add a Phantom Knight trap card, or Phantom Knight spell, but we're just playing trap cards here. We're on 2 copies of Ancient Cloak. I do feel like this is just a really good ratio for the 43 cards. I mean, if you want to play 60, I could argue that you could play 3 of this card if you want to, but right now we're just playing 2. Basically, it gives you an attack gain of 800 by switching it to defense, and then if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it from the grave to add any Phantom Knight monster. So this helps you get Torn Scales, this helps you get Silent Boots, whatever you may need for the combo. 1 Ragged Gloves, this helps you send a Phantom Knight card from the deck to the graveyard, and then we have the Stained Greaves, which doesn't really come up too much. It's really just there to just help keep extending, but it gets to special summon itself from the hand when you special summon a Phantom Knight monster, and then you can banish it from the graveyard to special summon a Phantom Knight from your hand. So it has its usages, but it is what it is. I mean, it's not amazing. I think if anything, you could probably cut this card if you really wanted to. We are on 2 Fog Blades because I don't want to brick with multiples. I just think 2 is fine. And then Phantom Knight Wing card is busted. You get to get that additional attack grant if you need to. And then also on top of that too, it just helps you summon graveyards from the, summon Phantom Knights from the graveyard, sorry. And then lastly, we play 1 Shade Brigandine just because it helps you extend. But honestly, this card's not really all that great. I'll get more into it with the extra deck, but you basically use this to help make your Evil Swarm Nightmare, but I don't know. I guess it's not really needed, but that's going to do it for the Phantom Knight portion. I mean, I guess we play the Roto too to complement since the whole deck is all warriors, so that's it for the Phantom Knight lineup. For the new support, we have 3 copies of Imseti, Glory of Horus. This card is just busted. This is basically like a custom card. I guess King Sarcophagus is more of a custom card if I may be honest. What this card does is that all the Horus have like the same effect, so I guess I might as well show the other ones. We play 1 Duomatef, 1 Happy as well, and then we are on the 3 copies of King Sarcophagus. These cards are just absolutely busted. All the Horus monsters have the same effect to where if you have King Sarcophagus face up in your spell and trap card zone, you can special summon themselves back out, just as if they don't activate, they don't do any of that. So if you're Under Dweller, it works perfectly because these cards can summon themselves back out, but they all have additional effects as well. Imseti probably being one of the most busted ones. You can send a card from your hand with this card to add King Sarcophagus and then draw a card on resolution, so it's really nice there. And then its other effect too, for those that don't know, if another card you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect while this card is in your monster zone, you can send 1 card on the field to the graveyard, so really busted there. Happy's second effect is if another card you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, you can target 2 cards that are banished or in the graveyard, and you can either add them both to the hand or shuffle them into the deck. So I've used this card to add back some pretty nutty stuff. So very good there. Duometap's effect is that if another card you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, you can draw cards equal to the number of monsters with different names in your main monster zone, which is also just really good. And then also gains additional attack for each Horus monster you control. So since you play 3 names, you can get this baby up to 3600 attack, which is very nice. King Sarcophagus probably being the most broken card of them all though. Basically what this card does, Horus monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects that do not target them, and then you can send 1 card from the hand to the graveyard and send 1 Horus monster from the deck to the graveyard, and you can use that effect up to 4 times per turn. And then also, as if that wasn't good enough already, at the start of the damage step, if your opponent attacks a Horus monster you control, you can send that opponent's monster to the graveyard. So basically just this whole package is just super nutty. I mean, it definitely gives this deck a whole lot more like love and support because the Horus monsters and Sarcophagus does a really good job at getting your Phantom Knights into the graveyard, so you definitely want to max out where needed to be able to do so. So that's it for the Phantom Knight, or not Phantom Knight, wow. That's it for the Horus lineup. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next package. Of course, we are on Adventure, so we play the 1 Griffin Rider, we play 3 copies of Enchantress, 2 copies of Right, and then we're on 1 Fateful, 1 Dracoback, and 1 Foolish Burial. I put the Foolish with this because I just feel that this is what gives the deck more like, how do I say it, like just more power basically, because being able to Foolish for the Enchantress to help you just get your combo going, but you also have cards like Torn Scales, you also have Mseti that can send your Enchantress to get access to your Rite of Aramis as well, so Foolish is just really good to, of course, benefit for the Enchantress. But this package is still good. It just helps you give an additional negate with your end board. You mainly use this just so that way you can help play around cards like Nibiru, but it does put in a lot of work, so I definitely can't complain. This is just much needed for the deck. For some additional level 3 extenders, we are on 1 Graph, 1 Seer, 1 Psychic Tracker, and 1 Psychic Wielder. Basically, I feel like you need to have some kind of extra level 3 extension, so I went for these 2. I'm not playing Emergency Teleport, I just didn't have room because I was trying to keep the deck as close to 40 as possible, but again, since we're at 43, I guess the argument's kind of invalid, but I did want to have some kind of extra form of extenders, so I just felt like these were just the best ones. And then also with these, basically since we're playing Cherubini, you know, like the full original Phantom Knight lineup where basically you send Graph off of your Cherubini and then you link for Bardiche, and then this year will bring back the Cherubini, so it's really good there. And especially with Little Knight in the format now, you have a Cherubini to use with your Masquerena, so that way you get both effects of the Little Knight during your opponent's turn. So I just felt like you had to play these. And then my only forms of interruption, I do play 3 Ash. I just felt like this was probably like the best hand trap that I could play for the main deck. These were the 41st, 42nd, and 43rd copies in the deck, if I may be honest, but I just want to have some kind of form of interruption for my opponent's turn. But it's also a level 3, so if you need to normal summon it, and then special summon like a Tracker or a Wielder, which has come up, you can always do that too. So 3 Ash. I am on 3 copies of Droplet. I still feel like this is like the best card of the format. I just think this card is so good, and if you have the chance to use it, you might as well. This card just puts in way too much work to not be used right now. And of course, the last card in the deck is a Call by the Grave. I know it's 43 cards, so you're probably not going to see this card so much, but I didn't want to be caught with my pants down without it. So that's really it. That's going to go ahead and round off the main deck. It's 43 cards again. No more, no less, unfortunately. I mean, again, I'm trying to get the deck as close to 40 as possible, but I do also want to experiment with 60. So that's it for the main deck. I'm not going to show the side deck just because the side deck has been a big work in progress. I haven't really been experimenting too much with it. I mean, it's literally just been just whatever my locals is based off of, but just take that how you will, I guess. For the extra deck, we are on 2 copies of Breaksword. I just felt like you still need 2 of this, but granted, I guess you can probably play 1, but I do like 2 still. I think 2 just comes up way more than other people may say, so definitely play 2. 1 copy of Leviair. I feel like this card just doesn't have as much usage as it used to, mainly because you have just so many extra forms of extension with the Horus and the Riot. It's just there to be there, but again, I have some of this card a lot too, so maybe you do need it, maybe you don't, but I've seen people say that they like the idea of cutting this card for something else, but for right now, I'm liking it, so it really is just player preference. 1 copy of Evil Swarm Nightmare. I get not wanting to play this. If I had the chance to, I would probably play like number 90 instead. I don't have access to a number 90 right now. I have it lent out, so I've just been playing with a Evil Swarm Nightmare, and honestly, it's been fine. It's nothing really amazing. This is really just good against like Pirelli, but other than that, I don't really see a use for this card. This has been like my big like kill shot. It's the Raider Knight and the Arc Rebellion. I still think this package is just so good, especially when you pair it with your Break Sword, being able to just go ahead and rank up 2 level 4s into the Knight, which gets you to your Rebellion, which basically just ends the game from there with the 1 kill shot at the end. So granted, if your opponent doesn't have like a Veiler or an Imperm, you're probably winning the game off of this card alone. So I definitely felt like it was still good to play, and I think moving forward, I'm still going to give it a whirl. So definitely like these cards a lot. For the 8s, I play 1 Harbinger and I play 1 Dingirsu. And then I guess I'll just put this in here now. I play 1 Zeus. Granted, I don't really make Dingirsu a whole lot, but the times that I have made it has been very beneficial. So I definitely feel like he could be mandatory, but at the same time, you could play something else if you really wanted to. Granted, number 90 is a really solid choice again, but Dingirsu's been really good every time I've summoned him. But again, he doesn't always come up, but the times he does, oh baby, this card goes in. Zeus is always just going to be Zeus. I mean, this card's just broken. Number 38 has been good and bad. Every time I summon this, it's with the intention that they're top decking to get out of the game that they're in. Or you could just make this turn 1 as well, because granted, making this turn 1 doesn't do anything. So you could just make the Harbinger instead. It's just significantly better. But again, if I had number 90, I would probably just substitute this or the Nightmare for it. But granted, I think just the main thing you should do is just make room for a number 90. Granted, also too, what I also want to play is Sky Typhon. And by playing that card, I think I would definitely cut out the 38 for the Typhon, if not the Nightmare. But granted, you should probably be making room for both of those cards. So that's it for the Exeses. I'll just move on to the links real quick. We're on 1 copy of Cherubini. Of course, this card is just too broken not to play. 1 Little Knight, definitely a card that is mandatory this format. I just feel like this card just does so much work by itself. You can make this on your end board if you don't have access to make the Masquerena, so this card just does so much too. Of course, we play Masquerena just in case the whole Grafseer package goes off to where you have this and this as your end board, basically, and then you link these 2 off for the Little Knight, so that way you can just get both effects. God, the lighting's terrible, I'm so sorry. That way you can get both effects of the Little Knight, get the whole like bang for your dollar, I suppose. But yeah, so we play Masquerena, 1 Dark Charmer, 1 Nightmare Phoenix. This card can be changed out for anything else as well. Again, there's just so much that I want to put in here that I haven't done enough testing with, but Phoenix does come up, and getting the draws is also very nice when you have this next to like your Little Knight when it comes back, so that's very good. And lastly, we play the Bardiche, because Bardiche is just a custom card and somehow hasn't been banned. Again, I should say. But that's it for the deck profile, guys. I mean, I know this was a little bit of a longer one, mainly because I just wanted to go ahead and try and get as many explanations as possible in this deck profile, because I do like this deck a lot, and I haven't played it in a while, so, and I also just haven't really been uploading, so I do apologize again for that. But videos should be coming back to normal. I mean, I have been very busy with moving and work and getting ready for the holidays, so it's just been a big mess. But the schedule's looking to be getting a little bit better, so that way I have been able to go and play cards a lot more often, and then I've just been trying to figure out what to play. And so far I've been really liking this, and I hope you guys like this deck as well. Give it a try. Tell me some things that you think you would change. But until next time, guys, this has been Papa, and I will catch you all in my next video.